Hi, I don't know whether you saw my Facebook post about my founding member launch last Sunday, but knowing the Facebook algorithms, I think there's probably a 99.99% chance that you didn't. So that's why I decided to do this video today, just to explain a little bit more about it. So my name's Kim and my business is Embodied Connections Australia, and as a death doula end-of-life consultant, I serve friends and family members of people who are nearing end of life to go from feeling confused, overwhelmed and alone to being supported and being very clear and confident in how they can support their loved ones to transition while also taking care of their own well-being. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm going through the membership experience, which is a program with Stu McLaren, because I really would like to look at how I can turn this into a membership to be able to reach more people, create that sense of community and really help people who are going through that experience of supporting a loved one who's nearing end of life, whether that is through age or because they've been diagnosed with a terminal illness, and really being able to provide that support and that information and that sense of community to help you, to help them go through that process. But I'm also wanting to engage with people who are really open to having very deep conversations around death and want to start preparing for their own end of life and are able to be really open to acknowledging that whether we're prepared to admit it or not, we're all going to die. It's inevitable. Although the Doing It to Death podcast is coming out in about a month, and the first episode is actually about this amazing new tourism that's springing up where people are traveling to various countries and spending a lot of money on stem cells treatments to try and prolong their life. And then that segues into a conversation about Dorian Gray. So anyway, that's coming up. So keep an eye out for the Doing It to Death podcast, which will be starting in about a month's time. But back to the membership. So what I'm really wanting to do is, at the moment, I would love to have 5 people who are willing to come on board as founding members of the Doing It to Death membership. And as I said, at the moment, it's either someone who is supporting a loved one who's nearing end of life, or someone who's open to having conversations and starting to get information and really thinking about and planning for their own death. That may branch off into 2 separate memberships down the track. This is one of the things that I really would love to discuss and have conversations with the founding members about, is what sort of things would really help you. So to give you a bit of an idea, some of the topics that we will be going through, or that I will be providing information through as part of the membership, are things like what is an advanced care directive, and how do you actually prepare one of those to let people know what sort of medical treatment you want as you're nearing end of life. How to create a legacy project. So whether that's a quilt, whether that's a scrapbook, whether that's letters, whether that's a piece of art, how do you create a legacy project so that when you're gone, you have something there that is really meaningful for the people that you're leaving behind. Planning for funerals, really to start thinking about what sort of a funeral do you want? Do you want to die at home? Do you want to have a funeral director involved? Do you want to have a green funeral? Do you want to have a living funeral? Which is something that is gaining a lot of popularity, where people will actually have a party as they're nearing end of life, have everyone come along and really be a part of that process, rather than waiting until you're gone and then having people coming along to your funeral. And a lot of the reason that funerals there's just so much outpouring of grief is that so many people haven't had a chance to say goodbye. And so living funerals, it's a really amazing concept. So that's something that we'll be talking about as well. And how to die and live in a very conscious way, and to really start exploring what that means and what that looks like. And things like reviewing your legal documents, as I said. So there's the advanced care directive. Do you have a valid will? How do you go about getting one of those? Powers of attorney, enduring powers of attorney, enduring guardianships. I was a lawyer for almost 20 years, so even though I'm not currently practicing as a lawyer, that's something that we'll be able to really dig deep into, and to make sure that all your legal affairs are in order. What happens after you die in relation to getting probate and things like that, just so people have an understanding and they're able to, as I said, either prepare for it themselves, or they're able to really help their family members through that. So anyway, there's some of the ideas that I have, but as I said, I would love to welcome some founding members on board. So it closes on the 31st of May. The founding membership is $27 a month, and what I'm looking at doing is having that go for about 6 months. I'll then be introducing another level of membership, and the founding members will be able to upgrade to that level at the $27 a month. So, and it really gives you an opportunity to get in on the ground floor, to help create an experience not only for yourself, but that will also benefit other people. So if you're interested, I would love it if you would send me a message, or I'll put my email address in the comments. So shoot me an email so that we can have a conversation about it. Looking at kicking this off in June, probably about the 5th of June. So as I said earlier, it'll be closing on the 31st of May. I'll be putting a few more things up between now and then, but I just really wanted to say hello and introduce myself, give you a bit more of an idea of what the membership's going to look like. And I would love to hear from you. Okay,